Hey everybody, Renegade 67 and or 8 here with some more Let's Play Stay Fate Night. No, let's stay playing. Let's play the fate that we are staying through nighttime. It's nighttime right now, and we're walking through the nighttime town to go meet Mr. Kirei and be like, hey dude, what's up? You knew my dad. Yorokibe is rejoice in Japanese. Oh, Yorokobe. Yorokobe. Alright, cool. I learned a new Japanese word. I would have understood that better, actually, if you wrote that in, like, katakana or something. But in case you're unaware of how to write in Japanese, there's a few... You can quickly Google, like, a Japanese keyboard app. But anyways, I use one. I use the Google app, I think. I forget. I downloaded it a while ago. But anyways, we walk through the nighttime town. It's past 1 in the morning, and there's no one out at this time. The lights in the houses are out, and only the street lamps illuminate the silent town.
まあ、父さか。スカのことを聞くけど、歩いて隣町まで行く気なのか?
Hey, Tosaka, are you planning to walk to the neighboring town? Oh, and this is like a whole other town. It's not even like the Japanese side and the western side. It's like another third thing? Some other third thing?
そうよ。だって電車もバスも終わってるでしょ。いいんじゃない？たまには夜の散歩っていうのも。
Yeah, the buses and trains have stopped running. A walk at night is good once in a while, right? I mean, a walk at night is good. I mean, a walk. I'll say a walk is good once in a while. A walk at night? I don't think that's necessarily necessary. In fact, that sometimes will lead you to getting shanked, but you know.
そうか。一応聞くけど、隣町までどのくらいかかるか知ってるか?
I feel like I heard him say Ichioku, which means 100 million, but maybe that just blended in with some other word. I see. Then if I may ask, do you know how long it takes to get there? Maybe he said something like, it doesn't take 100 million miles or something. Maybe that's what he said. Oh, I'm adjusting my chair. Being OCD right now. Apologies. Haven't had these chair issues in a while.
歩いてだと1時間ぐらいかしらね。まあ、遅くなったら帰りはタクシーでも拾えばいいでしょ。
Well, it should take about an hour walking. If it gets late, we can always take a taxi. Ooh, a taxi ride together. And are you paying? I mean, no, am I paying? I mean, this isn't a date, is it? I mean, you said you're the one who's grateful for me. Are we splitting? Or do we split? 50-50s?
そんな余分な金は使わないし、俺が言いたいのは、女の子が夜で歩くのはどうかってことだ。最近物騒なのは知ってるだろ? もしものことがあったら責任持てないぞ。
Freaking, I made a joke about that and he didn't actually comment and I actually felt a little bad. I remember at the last stream when we were about to go outside with Rin and Saber, I made a joke about, oh, let me guess, it's bad for girls to walk outside at night. And I made a sexist comment about how Shiro was being sexist, but actually his reasoning wasn't sexist, it was that he was tired and just didn't feel like going anywhere. And so I felt a little bad. And look, here we are. He went ahead and he took my bad away. He affirmed my suspicions. Besides, what I mean is, it might be dangerous for girls to walk around at a time like this. You know it's dangerous, right? I won't be responsible if something happens. Jesus. You won't take responsibility. You won't be the man who protects them. I thought that was your goal. I don't want to waste that kind of money. True story, though. Like, oh gosh, taxis. Expensive. Much better to generally take buses. Taxis are generally more convenient and faster because you don't, waste time on other people. But I'd rather save the money than save the time. But I guess it depends on the person and how much money they have to spend.
安心しなさい。相手がどんなやつだろうとちょっかいなんて出してこないわ。
Don't worry.
エミヤ君は忘れてるみたいだけど、そこにいるセイバーはとんでもなくお強いんだから。
Does it really take you that long to say that sentence? God, translation sometimes. Nobody's gonna mess with us. You may be forgetting, but Saber is really strong. Also, Rin's kind of strong too. But, I mean, yeah. But, like, it's dangerous for anyone to be walking around at night, from what Fujine said, but, yeah. Is that really all your responses? I thought you were going to say something like, oh, well, sure, Saber's strong, but that doesn't mean, I thought you'd follow that up with something. Like, didn't you have something to back up your claim? No? You really just lose yourself that easily into sexism? She's right. Really? Really? You falter that easily? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and actually... Wiz has been messing with me a little bit. I think this is my first time turning Saber off. I'm gonna turn the voices off at least until we run into someone new, aka Kirei. I feel like I've gotten an understanding of Shiro and Rin's dynamic. Oh, she's right. Whoever it is, if someone attacks her, they'll be counterattacked viciously. I mean, just don't kill any civilians, please. Whoa, what is that? Rin, what was Shiro saying? I did not quite understand. What the yellow and the what's trying to not stand out much? What? So like you can't be in spirit form because Shiro's bad at magic. Is that what the thing was? So you have to walk around in this completely conspicuous yellow cloak that will draw all kinds of attention? I mean, Rin's red already is kind of conspicuous, but yours is like double conspicuous. What is that? You're just asking to... Well, no, you're not asking to get mugged, I guess, because you look a bit too conspicuous. Like a mugger would see you and think, they're probably also a mugger. You look like a mugger. Well, no. Maybe, is that how logic works? Well, I'm not sure. Who wears that kind of thing? Maybe that is that a target for a mugger or someone who a mugger stays away from? Like, if they look obviously like they want to be mugged, is that reverse psychology? Saber probably isn't thinking about it. Did we give that to Saber? I doubt she has that herself. But I mean, even if you're trying to hide your armor and stuff, you could pass your armor off as cosplay. This looks just as conspicuous in my opinion. Oh, well, he was just making a big misunderstanding or being plain stupid. He's saying he'll help us if some perverts appear. I would say he's being just plain stupid, but sure. What? Shiro's my master. I should be protecting him instead. Gosh, all the faces from Rin. I don't think he's thinking about that sort of thing. He seems unconcerned about Magi and servants and all. I kind of wonder what's going on in his head. It just seems to be a big hard-on for protecting all of the ladies and failing to understand that they can protect themselves. But that funny face. Gosh, look at that. Ah. Oh, so many new Rin faces. It's like a whole new world of Rin. I can see why she may be some people's best girl. Of course, that's too superficial. I must like her for her personality. Kind of wonder what's going on in his head. Ellipses. Tosaka and Saber know each other well enough to talk to each other. Now know each other well enough? They really don't know each other well enough. I mean, they're both magical. I think that's how Rin is able to relate so easily. And I mean, Saber doesn't really know anyone. I mean, like, what was happening with her between the 10 years from Fate Zero to this? Like, was she just... Does she live in, like, some kind of, you know... she's just a ghost, right? Does she, like... I don't know exactly what her state was, but I assume she normally doesn't talk with people like this. At least if she does talk with people, it's probably other god people, I'd assume. I don't know. Saber's been silent ever since I stopped her from going out dressed like she was. That was your idea? This atrocious getup? What? Just let her walk as she was. People just think she's cosplaying. I mean, like this? I don't even know what to think. She said she wouldn't take off her armor, so I made her wear a raincoat, and she's been quiet ever since. Okay, then. Now she follows me and only speaks to Tosaka. Well, okay, it's a raincoat, but that's the thing. If it's not raining, okay, what's the forecast? That's what it was, a raincoat. If it's actually raining, that makes sense, but if it's not raining, wearing a raincoat when it's not raining is just so weird. Someone's gotta look at you and be like, they're hiding drugs or something. Like, they gotta be hiding something with that cloak. You look like you're hiding something. That's what I wanted to say. You look like you're hiding something. And so like, I don't know, someone might follow you or they might call the cops on you because it's like, why are you wearing a raincoat when it's not raining? I don't know, just thoughts. She follows me and only speaks to Tosaka. She doesn't even speak to you. Odd. Maybe because she doesn't think it's appropriate to speak to you unless you command her to speak to her first, but you haven't gotten that far because you don't understand the whole master-servant thing, really. Wait, where are you going, Emiya-kun? Isn't that the wrong way? Is it? I don't know. You lead the way. We need to get to the bridge, right? And this will be a shortcut. Are you really taking a shortcut at this time of night? Shortcuts is where, like, freaking muggers hang out. But you're like, oh, no, it's okay because... Just seems backwards logic. I don't want to walk alongside them, so I quickly make my way to the small side road. Oh. you don't want to walk alongside them? Is it because you've got a big boner? For which one? For both? Or because you just feel awkward about their magical conversation and you just think you as... I mean, you're not a muggle, but you feel like a muggle by comparison. We come out into a park. We have to cross that bridge to go to the neighboring town of Shinto, but... Wow, I didn't know about this road. I see. Since you can get to the bridge from the park, all you have to do is head for the park. Whoa, that's an excited face. Is this how you normally look when you learn new things? How often do you learn new things? Probably not much as of late. What a weird thing to be excited about, though. Like, you think magic is so boring, but you get excited about mundane things. Interesting. That says something about something. Like, you're so ingrained in the magic society that learning about regular society intrigues you. Which, I think I'd expect that more from a servant than I would from a magus, but... how much often are you going to use this convenient shortcut you've now discovered, Rin? Maybe it's just because it's nighttime. Tosaka's face looking up at the bridge seems even more beautiful than at school. I'm troubled. Very troubled. Let's go. We didn't come here to play around. I think Shiro's the one who said that, but I'd be surprised because I feel like Rin was the one leading the way. I hurry Tosaka, who's standing still in the park, and make my way up the stairs. Fascinating. She's the one who is taking her time. She's the one who just seems like her guard is so lowered. Like Archer isn't even around. She even explained to us that Archer isn't around. That just feels so trusting. Why does she trust Shiro so much? Is she just that? Is it really that, like, her debt, her pride with paying off the debt, that she's willing to take the risk of trust? In a way that makes you a good person, but also, I feel like in the Grail War, that's too nice. Once we reach the road alongside the bridge, Shinto will be straight ahead of us. Oh, there's that rope on the ground again. Is it going to, like, catch someone? Rope trap, finally? There's no one on the bridge. That's only natural, as not many people use it, even during daytime. It's more normal to use the bus or train to get to the neighboring town. See? Much more affordable, so this bridge is rarely used. Oh, people don't like walking. I guess you can't take the bus on the bridge. So you're just taking the lower bridge. What about the bigger bridge up the red bridge? Or is that what? No, wait. Oh, maybe that's what that makes sense. Never mind. You probably can't walk on that. That's probably like a highway, like a no walking zone. That's for the buses and stuff. This is the walking zone. I understand. That's because it's so long and it carries a fear that it might collapse on you. It's probably sturdy, but I guess I can understand the fear. That must be why this place isn't used for dates, even though it's perfect location-wise. Alternative fear, what if one of the red bridge up there actually, like, a car flies out of it or something, like an accident happens, and one of them just falls on you? At least the angle this is at, I don't know how stable the bridge's side thingies are, but it looks like it's possible for, like, a car to, like, flip out and fall on you down here. That's what it looks like, which is scary to think of. That's stupid. What am I thinking? Saber is following me silently, and Tosaka is walking right beside me. I gotta say, when there's no voices on, I really like it when games like the 99 series, for example, 99 especially, it has little sound effects that play to emulate the voice. I don't know. I always appreciated that. I guess because it's a game that has voices, you're sort of probably supposed to use them. And if you're not using them, then, you know, you're supposed to probably, that's why, because you just don't like voices in general. But I don't know. I like the little sound effects that play. Anyways. Saber is following me silently, and Tosaka is walking right beside me. I'm trying to ignore them. I hurry across the bridge. Beyond the bridge, Tosaka leads us into the suburbs. Ace Attorney does that too, right? The sound effects when people are talking. Yeah. I like those sound effects. I don't know. Something about it. I like them a lot. Anyways, beyond the bridge, Tosaka leads us into the suburbs. When I think about Shinto, only the office buildings in front of the station come into mind. But there are streets from older times once you get away from the station. Yes, this is our first look at Shinto, it seems. Interesting. Nice, 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 nice. I wonder how often we'll be here. Probably not too often, but... The suburbs are the most extreme of those. Most extreme of what? Sorry, I spaced. The office building. There are streets from older times. Okay, so we're in older times. We're back in time? There are hilly roads and a high road overlooking the sea. As you go farther up the hill, there are fewer buildings, and the foreigners' cemetery built on the slope of the hill can be seen. Right, the foreigners' cemetery. I thought that was in... Wait, I thought the foreigners' cemetery was in the... Okay, whatever. Maybe there's multiple foreigners' cemeteries. The church is up here. He must have been there at least once, right? Has he? No, I know it used to be an orphanage, though. Oh? I see. That'll be your first time today. You should prepare yourself. The priest there is a difficult man to deal with. Oh, geez. That's funny to think of, because when Kiritsugu took Shiro in, like, he had a choice between coming with Kiritsugu and going to an orphanage. What if the orphanage he would have went to was the church orphanage? That would have been freaking hilarious, because then he would have, like, grown up with Kirei as his daddy instead. Oh, man, alternate timelines. That would have been so trippy. Because, like, if he still ended up in the Grail War, that would... You see, though, like, in that timeline, would he have ended up in the Grail War? Because my current theory is that the white-haired girl wanted to take revenge on Kiritsugu through Shiro. That's my ongoing theory. And so she set up the circle so that Shiro could be part of the game. If he had grown up with Kirei and never been part of Kiritsugu's life, white-haired girl maybe never would have done that. That's my ongoing theory. And if that's true, then if Shiro had grown up with Kirei, Shiro maybe probably would have never been part of the Grail War under those circumstances. So that's interesting to think of. Although if he was, he would have known Kirei better. But it's just interesting to think of Shiro with Kirei as his dad instead. Shiro Kotomine. Anyways. Looking up, I can see a building at the top of the hill. A church atop the hill. I never thought I'd visit God's house for the first time for a reason like this. God's house? Raising Shiro is a popular AU. Yeah. I can see why. Sugoi! This is really awesome! Alright, I'll turn the voices back on for this. Even though we haven't met Kira yet, we're probably just about to. This is really awesome! The church is magnificent. The whole top of the hill must be the church's land, as a flat field welcomes me as soon as I reach the top. The church isn't that big, but it is compelling, towering over its visitors.
Shiro, 私はここに残ります。
Oh, don't you cheap out on me like that, Saber. Look at how I... Did you hear that? How I was like, don't you cheap out on me, Saber. It's because I went to adjust something real quick, and I was trying to talk at the same time. Anyways, oh, okay. So, you know, because of the name Kotomine, that Kirei's going to be in there, and you don't want to have that conversation at all? Really? Don't be lame. I want to see it. I guess they're going to hold off on that plot twist till later in the game, you know. The plot twist that she used to be Kiritsugu's servant, but like, oops, I already know.
なんでだよ。ここまで来たのに、セイバーだけ置いてけぼりなんてできないだろう。
Why? I can't just leave you here when we've come up here together. I mean, that's interesting though, because Saber wants to protect Shiro, and you would think, if anything, she might want to protect him from Kirei. Maybe she's putting a lot of faith in the fact that Kirei will be like an impartial judge, but and he probably will be, to be honest. But I wonder what is weighing on her more. Is her fear of Kirei, is it her fear of Kirei or her trust that Kirei will be impartial? Because, like, you'd really think she'd want to stay with Shiro and protect him, so... Must mean this is kind of a big deal to her, which I can see why, but a really big deal.
私は教会に来たのではなく、シロを守るためについてきたのです。シロの目的地が教会であるのなら、これ以上遠くには行かないでしょう。
I did not come for the church.
ここで帰りを待つことにします。
I followed to protect you. If your destination is the church, you should not go any farther, so I shall wait here for your return. Uh-huh. Sketchy, sketchy. Saber says clearly. It doesn't seem like she'll budge an inch, so I decide to respect her decision.
わかった。それじゃあ行ってくる。
Alright, then I'll be going.
はい。誰であろうと気を許さないように。マスター。
Yes, please do not let your guard down, whomever you are facing, Master. As if I'm going to be facing someone. I mean, if I was facing someone, you'd think you'd want to be there with me. Seems, wow, you really have the heebie-jeebies. Pretty! It's a large, impressive chapel. Pretty sure this was in Fate Zero, but I do not remember the locale very well. It wasn't very distinctive. Since it's so large, many people must come here during the day. If he's entrusted with such a church, the priest here must be a man of character. Oh, he's got a character, alright.
トサカ、ここの神父さんというのはどんな人なんだ？
Tosaka, what kind of person is the priest here?
どんな人かって説明するのは難しいわね。10年来の知人だけど、私だって未だにあいつの性格はつかめないもの。
It's kind of hard to explain. I've known him for 10 years, but I still can't grasp his character. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna mention something I haven't really brought up this far. Just the more I think about it, the more I think about how I'm like, I've been in such a mindset of oh, I did Fate Zero first, this is like my second thing, and I've tried to keep in my head that, okay, some of the stuff from Fate Zero is gonna be like plot twists in this game, but I haven't thought too much about this, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a second and think about a certain thing. And this is going to spoil something from Fate Zero, what I'm about to say, but, you know, there you go. It's gonna spoil something related to Rin's father and what happened to him, so if you care about that, but if you know already, Rin's father was killed by Kirei. So, I'm assuming, I doubt that it was random. I'm assuming some stuff in Fate Zero was made just for Fate Zero, but I think important things like that probably existed in Fate Stay Night. So, my guess is that at some point that will come to light, and Rin will find that out. I'm very curious as to what direction that will lead in. Like, I feel like the obvious explanation is revenge plot. Like, Rin tries to get revenge and goes after Kirei. Alternatively, but like, he's an impartial judge, right? So, how would that work? I don't know. It just feels like, and it's Rin that would be happening to, not me, Shiro. But this is like, if this is all from Shiro's perspective, Shiro would have to be there when that happens for Shiro to grasp, for Shiro to grasp it. So, I don't know. I'm just thinking about how that would work. Like, Shiro would be a good kind of person that would probably side with Rin in such a conflict, especially because, you know, Kiritsugu and Kirei were kind of rivals. And if Shiro was to continue that trend, but like, fighting Kirei, I don't know. At first I sort of just expected Kirei was going to be an impartial judge. I didn't know what role he'd play, but the more I think about it, the more I think he's got to play some kind of important role. He's not just going to be a nothing in this narrative. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. But I just don't know, because the more I think about Fate, and how it's like a battle royale thing between, like, you know, 7 people. And in Fate Zero, you know, there were the 7 masters. If I'm to just roll them off real quickly, I don't necessarily need to name names, but, you know, Kiritsugu, Kirei, Crazy Guy, I forget his name, the student guy and his teacher. How many have I named? That's 5. Who else was there? Oh yeah, the guy who got the Berserker, and then who was the last one? Nope, I know this. Don't say anything. Do I know this? Gosh, who was the last one? Oh, I'm brain farting. Oh, did I miscount? Kiritsugu, Kirei, Crazy Guy, student, teacher, guy who had Berserker. Oh, why am I brain farting? Who am I missing? Oh, that's who I'm missing. Rin's father. I wasn't counting him. Yeah, that's who I'm missing. I forgot because the circumstances were kind of funny how that worked out. Because I was thinking about the servants and who they paired to, but that whole thing's kind of confusing. Anyways, that's all 7 of them. And the reason I bring that up is that there were conflicts that built with, like, Kirei versus Kiritsugu was a big one. Also, I believe Rin's dad had something of a thing with Berserker's master. Something was going on there as well. I forget the details, but that was a big conflict. And so this is different because it's all from Shiro's perspective. In Fate Zero, we got multiple perspectives going on. Like, you could argue Kiritsugu was the main character, you could argue Saber was the main character, but there wasn't really a main central focus that you always saw from the perspective like there is now. So I'm just thinking about that now and thinking what that means for the course of this narrative. Assuming it's all from Shiro's point of view, that's going to mean that we're going to have to interact with all 6 and sort of, I would assume, fight all 6 to an extent ourselves and form our own. I guess with multiple pathways that becomes more possible. But then there's the question of Kirei. And if there's going to be, is there going to be any kind of one big villain, and would Kirei be that one big villain? I don't know. Just things that are floating around in my head. I don't know how Kirei would do that, though. Let's stop and think about that, though. If Kirei ended up being, like, somehow the big... One character who could be a big villain, for sure, would be my sister. I can definitely see a big relationship thing forming there. But the thing with, Kirei, is that if he was to be a big villain, he would need some kind of power, right? Because all of us have servants who are super duper strong. And look, Kirei's pretty tough, but, like, I don't think he's tough on the level of a servant. So maybe he's going to pull some kind of trick, and he's going to use the other 7 contestants, and in one pathway, maybe he's going to try to take the Grail for himself without actually being a contestant? Maybe? And then he's gonna, like, gain the powers of the Grail and be some big final boss. I know this isn't a traditional video game, but, Kirei could be a puppet master, you're right, but, like, I don't know, I'm just thinking about narratives, and the fact that this came first, and thinking about what that means, and if Fate Zero came first, that's the thing, because I have to think about this differently. If Fate Zero came first, I probably would think just of Kirei as probably just a puppet master. But Fate Zero didn't come first. Fate Zero was filling in, I don't know, Fate Zero was doing things that Fate Zero set up, which is why I'm more thinking that things like this have to be significant, and then they were expanded on in Fate Stay Night, which is why I feel more and more, now that I think about it, like Kirei is probably going to play a significant role. I don't know how many branching paths this game is going to have, but at least in one route, I feel he's going to be some kind of big enemy. Anyways, just thought I'd throw that out there because I was really starting to think about that more and more. Anyways, I've known him for 10 years, but I still can't grasp his character.
10年来の知人？それはまた随分と年季が入った関係だな。もしかして親戚か何かか？
You've known him for 10 years? That's a pretty long relationship. Is he a relative of yours or something? Haha, sort of.
親戚じゃないけど私の後見人よ。ついでに言うと兄弟子にして第二の師っていうところ。
He's not my relative, but he is my guardian. On top of that, he's my senior as an apprentice and my second teacher. Right, senior as an apprentice because he trained out under your father for a bit before he killed him. And now he's your second teacher.
兄弟子って魔術師としての兄弟子？
Senior as an apprentice? You mean apprentice as a magus?
そうだけど、なんで驚くのよ、そこで。
That's right, but why are you so surprised?
だって神父さんなんだろ？神父さんが魔術なんてそんなのご法度じゃないか。
Since when was that a rule? Did Kiritsugu tell you that? Because he's a priest. Aren't priests forbidden to use magic? By their nature, a magus and the church cannot be in harmony. Oh, really? I mean, since when? I'm surprised you know this. The organization that Magi belonged to is called the Magic Association. And the other side of the religion, and the other side of religion, the side you wouldn't see while living a normal life, is called the Holy Church. Huh? And these are things you just know? I thought you were the magic noob. The two are barely similar. They cooperate in name, but they're always trying to kill each other when given the chance. Wait. So you're saying there's an organization of magic called the Magic Association, and then there's the Holy Church that just believes in proper God and stuff. And you're saying those are separate entities? So does, like, the church know about the magic organization? And they want to get rid of the magic organization? But they still want to keep the magic organization a secret from the muggles? That seems odd. Does that mean gods and stuff for real? Like if there's a church that isn't about magic and just believes in gods and stuff, does that mean those gods and stuff are real, giving them powers? And maybe there could be like an alternate fate where it's like a Grail War, but it's not magic. It's like, you know, D&D where they're like paladins and priests of gods. Because, you know, Saber and stuff are sort of gods, but they're not gods. They're magic gods. But they're like, dog is God spelled backwards. That's a joke. The church hates heretics. They totally eliminate the inhuman, and they count magic using humans among their targets. Okay. So, like, but that's why she calls him a fake priest. They're not real priests. They just run it pretend-wise so that they can have the Grail War? For the church, miracles are only given to the chosen holy saints. Any miracle handled by other people are hearsays. There are no exceptions, even for those within the church. The higher one rises in the church, the more one is prohibited from the impurity of magic. And for a follower entrusted with a church like this, and the more divine protection one receives, the more one should stay away from magic. Uh-huh. And is this something Kiritsugu told you? Because I don't see how else you would know this stuff.
いや、そもそもここの神父さんってこっち側の人だったのか。
No, first of all, is the priest here on our side? What do you mean your side? He's like the judge.
ええ、聖杯戦争の監督役を任されたやつだもの。バリッバリの代行者よ。まあ、
Yes.
最も神のご加護があるかどうかは疑問だけど。
He's the one supervising the Holy Grail War, after all. He's a real agent. Well, I don't know if he has divine protection, though. Wait. Okay. I'm trying to take this all in. The higher one rises in the church is prohibited from the... Okay. Divine one, the more one should stay away from magic. Yes, he is the one supervising. He's a real agent. What do you mean a real agent? You mean a real agent of the magical organization? But he might also have church stuff? Maybe? Tosaka's footsteps echo as she approaches the altar. It's bad manners to do that when the priest isn't here, but it's so late at night. Uh-huh. He won't be in the chapel, so if he's anywhere, it'll be the private room in the back. Uh-huh.
んで、その神父さんはなんて言うんだ。さっきは琴峰とかなんとか言ってたけど。
So who is this priest? You said a name like Kotomine before. I remember when I was first watching Fate Zero, the names were so... I always got confused between Kiritsugu and Kirei, because it's like Kiritsugu and Kirei. I just... Ugh. It was a mess at first. And then Kotomine on top of that? Gosh.
名前は琴峰きれい。父さんの教え子でね。もう10年以上顔を合わせてる腐れ縁よ。まあ、できれば知り合いたくなかったけど。
His name is Kotomine Kirei. He's a student of my father, and we've had an inseparable relationship for 10 years now. Well, I wish I'd never met him, though. Wow, has your relationship with him been that shitty? I mean, I assume he tried his best, in a sick way.
同感だ。私も死を敬わぬ弟子など持ちたくはなかった。
I feel the same way. I did not want an apprentice who did not respect her teacher. Well, Mr. Kirei. Who did not respect her teacher, as in her new teacher? And she doesn't even know the whole story. A footstep. He must have noticed our entry as he slowly appears from the other side of the altar.
再三の呼び出しにも応じぬと思えば変わった客を連れてきたな。彼が7人目というわけか、リン。
Wow, that voice. It may not be Crispin Freeman, but oof, it's still kind of steamy. Over the phone doesn't really give the same impression. You didn't answer my repeated calls, and now you bring a strange guest. So he's the 7th one, Rin. Interesting. So this is what Kirei looks like now. Deep. Uh-huh. Huh. Yeah. Okay. I mean, once you get up into like your 30s and stuff, I guess aging 10 years doesn't make a huge difference. But he does look a bit older.
So, 一応魔術師だけど、中身は点で素人だから見てられなくって。
Right, he's a magus, but he's pretty much a beginner, so I just couldn't let him be.
確かマスターになったものはここに届けを出すのが決まりだったわよね。あんたたちが勝手に決めたルールだけど、今回は守ってあげる。
Oh, interesting. I believe it was the rules to report here when one becomes a master, right? It's a rule you invented, but I'll follow it this time. Really? Ho, 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 and I was just talking about how Kirei might be plotting something. It's a rule he invented to get the 7 to gather here. Okay, wait. Normally the overseeing priest doesn't necessarily need to meet the magus, but Kirei made a rule this time to meet all of them. That is interesting, and I feel gives credence to my idea that he's plotting something like, I don't know, to take the Grail for himself despite not... Well, okay, so the thing about Kirei in Fate Zero is that he didn't really have a wish. He was a lot like Rin in that sense. Like, they won the Grail War, but he didn't have a wish. So I don't think he got anything. Maybe after that, his outlook has sort of altered, and now he has a wish? And so now he's trying to take advantage of this next Grail War to get his wish now? Even though he's not properly a magus, or at least not a proper master anymore, he's going to try to take advantage of it to get his wish that he now has that he didn't have back then. Because that's the thing, Rin. By the way, I'm pretty sure you have to use the wish immediately. I don't think the Grail just waits up for you. So I think that's what's going on with Kirei, is that he didn't have a wish back then, but he's since figured out what his wish is, and he wants it really badly. And he's plotting something, which is why he needs why he needs to know who all 7 of them are. That's where my thinking is going right now. Anyways, but I'll follow it this time.
それは結構。なるほど。ではその少年には感謝しなくてはな。
Very well. Then I must thank this young man. The priest called Kotomine slowly turns to me. Dash, 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 dash. Without realizing, I step back. I don't think he's learned your name yet, has he? Wait, did she say Emiya's name? I don't think so. No, okay. He's not scary at all. I don't feel any hostility from him. Are you being honest? I can't tell with your inner monologue. Is that supposed to be ironic? But this priest still has a presence that makes the air around him feel heavy. Really? I think he would be scary, to be honest.
私はこの教会を任されている琴峰きれいというものだが
That's always confusing when it says, I am Kotomine Kirei, the one entrusted with this church, but I can clearly tell in Japanese, he definitely said something like, the one entrusted with this church is me, Kotomine Kirei. It's probably closer to what he said, based on the order of the words. I know Japanese does sort of backwards speak compared to how we talk. He kind of like Yoda speak, but anyways. He probably would have said something like, church entrusted me, Kotomine Kirei. Something along those lines, if that was to be translated into rough English.
君の名は何というのかな7人目のマスターよ
What is your name, 7th Master?
エミヤシロ けど、俺はまだマスターなんてものになった覚えはないからな。
I feel like once you've summoned your servant, you've kind of already agreed. But to be fair, you did summon without knowing any better, so maybe special circumstances, you might be allowed to quit. But if you quit, we won't really have a narrative, so I don't think you're going to be allowed to quit. Emiya Shiro, but I haven't agreed to this master thing yet. Also, he now heard the name Emiya. So how's he going to react to that? I glare back at the priest, trying not to lose against his presence. Honestly, I think he's less likely to react than Saber is. He'd probably be more stone cold-faced, but I don't know.
エミヤ、シロ。
Oh wow, he actually reacted more than Saber. I heard that, Emiya. Emiya? Shiro. Huh? The weight on my back turns into a chill. The priest slowly smiles as if he's met someone pleasant. Oh, you. Pleasant, huh? You're probably intrigued more than anything. That smile. It makes me...
礼を言う、エミヤ。よくリンを連れてきてくれた。君がいなければあれは最後までここには訪れなかったろう。
Thank you, Emiya. You have brought Rin here. If it were not for you, she would not have come. Why, you wanted to see Rin? The priest makes his way toward the altar. Tosaka moves away from the altar and stands beside me. Oh, maybe she's afraid of him if I'm not.
では始めよう。エミヤ・シロ。君はセイバーのマスターで間違いはないか？
Then let us start. Emiya Shiro, you are Saber's master, correct? Indeed.
それは違う。確かに俺はセイバーと契約した。けど、マスターとか聖杯戦争とか、そんなことを言われても俺には点でわからない。
That's wrong. I certainly made a contract with her, but I don't understand this whole master and holy Grail war thing. Holy War Grail. I was about to say Holy War Grail. I don't understand this Grail, Holy War Grail, Greymon thing. Also, you know I'm Saber's master by process of elimination, but you probably don't know that our Saber is the Saber. Or do you? How much do you know?
マスターっていうのがちゃんとした魔術師がなるものなら、他にマスターを選び直した方がいい。
If a master should be a proper magus, then you should go and choose a more suitable person.
なるほど。これは重症だ。彼は本当に何も知らないのか、リン。
This is serious. Does he really know nothing, Rin?
だから素人だって言ったじゃない。そのあたりからしつけてあげて。そういう追い込み得意でしょ、あんた。
I told you he's a beginner. Train him from the very first steps, will you? You're really good at that, right? I mean, how much is the first steps? How long are we going to take here? It's kind of late. I mean, I guess we could have a crash course right here and now. But that'd be funny, you know, after learning it's in pieces from Kiritsugu, and him not wanting to learn any deep magic, we're now going to learn the deep magic from Kirei. That would be pretty hilarious. Tosaka urges the priest.
ほう。これはそういうことか。
I see. That's how it is, huh?
よかろう。お前が私を頼ったのはこれが初めてだ。
I understand this is the first time you've ever depended on me. Does that make you feel good? Do you like being depended on her? That's kind of sick, but...
エミヤ・シロには感謝をしてもし足りないな。
Emiya Shiro, I can never thank you enough. Oh, how funny that is. The conversation makes me feel uneasy.
まず君の勘違いを正そう。
First, let us correct your misunderstandings. Which ones?
いいか、エミヤ・シロ。マスターというものは他人に譲れるものではないし、なってしまった以上やめられるものでもない。
Listen, Emiya Shiro, Master is not a role you can give to someone else, nor is it something you can stop being once you are chosen. That's what I expected. If he was given the chance to quit, we wouldn't really have a Vijima game. Or a visual novel. Or if we did, we wouldn't be playing as Shiro.
その腕に霊樹を刻まれた者は、たとえ何者であろうとマスターを辞めることはできん。
Those who have command spells,
受け入れろ。
those who have command spells carved on them cannot resign from being a master. You must accept that fact. Okay. Can I, like, transfer my spells to Rin and then she can have both Archer and Saber? Probably not. I don't think that's really a thing you can do, but, I mean, I don't know, maybe.
やめることはできないって。
Why can't I
どうしてだよ。
quit?
レイジとは聖魂でもある。マスターとは与えられた試練だ。都合が悪いからといって放棄することはできん。
The command spell is a holy mark. Becoming a master is a trial placed upon you. You cannot escape it just because it is inconvenient.
その痛みからは聖杯を手に入れるまでは解放されない。
You cannot be released from that pain until you obtain the Holy Grail. Or, die, which is the more likely outcome. 6 out of 7 will die, or not, because in Fate Zero they didn't all die.
お前がマスターを辞めたいというのであれば、聖杯を手に入れ、斧が望みを叶えるより他はあるまい。
That's
そうな
backwards!
れば、何もかもが元通りだぞ、エミヤシロ。
That's pretty backwards. If you wish to retire from being a master, all you can do is obtain the Holy Grail and wish that you weren't a master. Although once you obtain the Holy Grail, you aren't a master anymore. So don't wish for that. That would be a stupid wish. If you do that, everything will be as you desire, Emi Yashiro.
お前の望み、その内に溜まった泥をすべてかき出すこともできる。そうだ。初めからやり直すこととて可能だろうよ。
Your wishes. Even cleaning out all that mud inside of you is possible, yes. It is even possible to start everything over again. Possible to start everything over again. Possible to start everything over again. Maybe we are gonna go back to the fire. Possible to start everything over again. That could just be him saying a random example, or that could be him, the author, having him say that random example because it's going to happen. So maybe that is going to be Shiro's goal, to go back to the fire and stop the damage that was caused. Which would be interesting, because I think I'm just going into full, I've already went a bit into spoilers at this point of Fate Zero. So, because, Kiritsugu kind of more or less caused that fire. So, that would be interesting if Shiro went back to, stop Kiritsugu, but then Kiritsugu saves him, so, would he not be saved? Here's a weird thought. I don't think this is what would happen. I think going back and trying to stop the fire may actually be where they're going. But, a weird thought I don't think is where they're going, but it would be funny, is if, let's say Shiro had shit parents who were abusing him, and, they were gonna kill him, but the fire happened, and he was saved. And let's say he goes back and stops the fire from happening, and then he doesn't get saved, and he dies, and then there's a time paradox. Therefore, you should desire it. With your hand outstretched.
もしその時が来るのなら、君はマスターに選ばれた幸運に感謝するのだからな。その目に見えぬ火傷の跡を消したいのならば、成功を受け入れるだけでいい。
If the time comes, you will appreciate being chosen as a master. If you wish to erase those burns that cannot be seen, all you have to do is accept that holy mark. Those burns that cannot be seen? Again, you say burns! I feel like you're referencing that fire! That's what it feels like to me. I feel dizzy. The priest's words don't make any sense. They just confuse me more and more as I listen. But still, his words soak in my brain and clot like blood.
キレ、回りくどい真似はしないで。私は彼にルールを説明してあげてって言ったのよ。
Kirei, don't go
誰
off
も傷を
topic.
開けなんて言ってない。
I asked you to tell him the rules. I didn't ask you to open up his old wounds. A voice cuts in. Nice. She's sort of protecting me in a way. Protecting me from myself, from my inner demons, my flashbacks.
父さん。
That clears up my dizzy head.
そうか。こういった手合いには何を言っても無駄だからな。せめて勘違いしたまま道徳を拭い去ってやろうと思ったのだが。
I see. It's pointless to say anything to these kinds of people, so I was trying to take away his morality while he still misunderstood. I guess that is one approach. I mean, you know, take away the morality, then he'll be fine with killing other people, like Rin right here, right now. No, I think actually the church is supposed to be a safe zone, so I don't think I could, even if I wanted to. Maybe that's why. Maybe, like, servants aren't allowed in the church. Is that a rule? I don't think so. But I do think fighting is prohibited in the church, I think. Yeah.
情けは人のためならずとはよく言ったものだ。つい私自身も楽しんでしまったか。
I guess it's true that compassion is not good for others, and I rather enjoyed it too. Enjoyed molding my mind? I'm sure you would, given who I am.
何よ、彼を助けるといいことあるっていうの？あんたに。
We're kind of the two perfect people that you would just love to mold because you're just kind of fucked up like that. What, does it do you good to help him?
あるとも。人を助けるということはいずれ自身を救うということだからな。と、今さらお前に説いても始まるまい。
There's the practical answer. Of course, helping people means saving yourself in the end. When Shiro helps people, he doesn't think that way. He just thinks, I'm helping people because I gotta help the people. But Kirei helps people to help himself, which is really the more cynical outlook. It won't do any good to preach to you now.
では本題に戻ろうか、エミヤシロ。
So let us return to the main topic, Emiya Shiro. He just must love saying the name Emiya.
君が巻き込まれたこの戦いは聖杯戦争と呼ばれるものだ。
The battle you've been dragged into is called the Holy Grail War. Oh shit, is it called something else in Japanese? I was listening to that and I don't think I heard any of the words he said be called Holy Grail War. I heard him say like Sekai or no, I heard like the word for fight, so maybe it is something else. But I assumed it was still like Holy Grail War, but maybe it's not.
7人のマスターが7人のサーバントを用いて繰り広げる争奪戦。
Have you learned from Rin?
リンから聞いたのか。
This is an all-out war between 7 masters using 7 servants. I find it hard to call something a war when it's just between 7, even 14 people. I feel like you need at least, I don't know, 100 people for a war. Just a war feels like a big event to me. I don't know. At least how I define war. There should be like at least 100 people on each side for it to be a war, but...
聞いてる。7人のマスターで殺し合うっていうふざけた話だろ。
I did. It's some ridiculous thing where 7 masters kill each other, right? I'm willing to let it be called a war because, like, there's, you know, the battles are so flashy, but I mean, under normal circumstances, I personally would think of a war that has to be, like, at least 100 people on each side, but, for it to be big enough to be a war. That's a thing. You know how Shiro was differentiating between battle and fight? I don't really differentiate much between battle and fight, except the fact that I consider battle a bit bigger than fight, but I do think war is on another level. But anyways.
そうだ。だが我らとて好きでこのような非道を行っているわけではない。
That's debatable. Indeed, but we are not committing these inhuman acts because we want to. Some of you probably are, and also I think, like, again, I talked about ethics and how you could have set it up so that ethically none of the masters fought and it was just the servants, but you wouldn't want that. You masters would want to strut your stuff and prove yourself to your households and your family names. And I think the tradition just stuck, and nobody in later generations thought, hey, what if we make this ethical? But nope.
すべては聖杯を得るにふさわしいものを選抜するための儀式だ。
Everything is a ritual to determine who is the most suitable to receive the Holy Grail.
何しろ物が物だからな。所有者の選定にはいくつかの試練が必要だ。
Because of its greatness, we require trials to determine its owner. What trials? Trials and tribulations? Phoenix Wright, a bridge. No, this is probably Phoenix Wright, but like much longer. But we do have a bridge. I'll bet this priest doesn't think of this Holy Grail War thing as a trial. Well, I mean, then what is the trial? Is there any other trial? I think that's the main trial.
待てよ。さっきから聖杯聖杯って繰り返してるけど、それって一体何なんだ？まさか本当にあの聖杯だって言うんじゃないだろうな。
Okay, they definitely call it something else in Japanese. Seihai is definitely at the root of that. They definitely don't call it Holy Grail War. They might use the words for Holy Grail War in Japanese, but they don't call it Holy Grail War. That's kind of what I expected, honestly. But, no. So they're not using those words. I might check that out, look up how they actually pronounce it. What the words actually are and mean. But anyways, you keep saying Holy Grail War, but what is it? You can't possibly mean the actual Holy Grail, right? The Holy Grail. A grail said to have received the blood of the Christ. Of the Christ, sure. It is considered to be one of the greatest holy relics, and said to be capable of many miracles. The most common rumor about it is that the one who obtains the Holy Grail will obtain the world. So maybe now Kirei is trying to rule the world? I don't know. But that's just an invention. After all, the Holy Grail itself is almost something that exists but doesn't exist. A Holy Grail that makes wishes come true certainly appears in many folklores and legends around the world. But that's it. Not in Fate. A fictional power that doesn't exist and isn't possible. That is the Holy Grail. Not in Fate.
どうなんだ、琴峰綺麗。あんたの言う聖杯は本当に聖杯なのか?
So answer, Kotomine Kirei. Is the Holy Grail you're talking about really the Holy Grail? The Holy Grail?
もちろんだとも。この町に現れる聖杯は本物だ。その証拠の一つとして、サーバントなどという法外な奇跡が起きているだろう。
Of course, the Holy Grail that appears in this town is real. As proof, the great miracle of the servants has occurred. I mean, to someone who understands magic, that might be taken, understands it really well, that might be taken as proof, but to someone like Shiro, I don't think that's going to be really enough.
過去の英霊を呼び出し刺激する。いいな。すでに死者の蘇生に近いこの奇跡は魔法と言える。
Summoning controlling past heroes. No, a miracle close to resurrecting the dead is almost a sorcery. Almost a sorcery? I mean, I would think the Grail is more powerful than sorcery. You know, even if there are only 4 sorcerers in the world or whatever.
これだけの力を持つ聖杯ならば、持ち主に無限の力を与えよう。物の心眼など、その事実の前には無価値だ。
A Holy Grail with this much power shall grant its owner unlimited power. You said power twice in the same sentence. I feel like that weakens the point. The object's unreality is worthless in front of the truth. Wait. The object's unreality is worthless in front of that truth. A Holy Grail... Oh, okay. I think I get it. You're saying, yeah, it's not real, but like the servants, that's too strong. It has to be real. I think I get your logic. Dash. So, he means that even if it is a fake, it doesn't matter if it has powers that would overwhelm even the... Oh, I see what he's saying. Like, it doesn't matter if it's really the Holy Grail. It's irrelevant. The fact is, it has a lot of really strong powers and does a lot of really funky stuff, and us people have decided to name it the Holy Grail, maybe after the legend Holy Grail, but does it really matter? I mean, you might as well just... I get what he's... Okay, I get it. I get the idea. Even if it is a fake, it doesn't matter if the powers that would overwhelm even the true Holy Grail. Yeah.
いいぜ。仮に聖杯があるとする。けど、ならなんだって聖杯戦争なんてものをさせるんだ。聖杯があるんなら殺し合うことなんてない。それだけすごいものならみんなで分ければいいだろう。
That's what someone would say who is too nice for the Holy Grail War. Let's assume there really is a Holy Grail. Then why is it required to do something like the Holy Grail War? We shouldn't be killing each other if the Holy Grail exists. If the Holy Grail is so great, we can all share its power. Yeah, but that's the thing. They say sharing is caring, but like... Power is power. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. And the only reason people know about this Grail in the first place is because 7 strong mages came together. And they were all really strong. And if you're that strong, then you're probably a little corrupted. And it only grants apparently 1 wish per summoning, I guess. So each time 7 strong mages come together and summon it, only one of them gets it. And they could share it, in theory, if they all had the same wish. One of them could just do it and they could skip the war. But you know how society works. Everybody wants different things. Everybody has different opinions. I'd say that's kind of generally a boon of society. It makes life interesting. If we all thought the exact same way, life would probably be boring. However, it also leads to inevitable conflict. It's kind of a paradox in that.
もっともな意見だが、そんな自由は我々にはない。
That's a fair argument, but we do not have such freedom.
聖杯を手にする者はただ一人。
We also don't have justice. What? Only one person can obtain the Holy Grail.
それは私たちが決めたのではなく、聖杯自体が決めたことだ。
That is not something we chose, but what the Holy Grail has decided. Sounds like a dick. Takes 7 to summon, you only get 1 wish? Gosh. Frickin' in Aladdin, it only takes 1 to summon, but you get 3 wishes. Much better deal.
7人のマスターを選ぶのも、7人のサーバントを呼び出すのも、すべては聖杯自体が行うこと。
The Holy Grail decides the 7 masters and summons the 7 servants. That's a question. Has the Holy Grail been summoning the 7 servants since the beginning? Or, like, is that something it started doing along the way? Because when the first 7 masters, first 7 mages managed to summon the Holy Grail, they were going to fight each other, but decided that, or no, okay. When they summoned the first Grail, did the servants come with the Grail? Or was that something that happened later, once, like, as, you know, because they couldn't decide who was going to use it, the Grail decided for them and gave them the servants? Which makes the Grail kind of, I don't know if having a mind of its own is the term, but it sort of depends. Because, like, if the 7 masters were able to summon the servants once they decided that they wanted to do this Holy Grail War thing, then I guess maybe the Grail could have just remembered that they decided to do that and just did that automatically at the start of each new war. That's also possible, which means it might not have a mind of its own, but,
これは儀式だと言っただろう。聖杯は自らを持つにふさわしい人間を選び、彼らを競わせて、ただ一人の持ち主を選定する。
I told you this is a ritual. The Holy Grail chooses the people suitable to obtain it and selects its appropriate owner by making them fight for it. Aha.
それが聖杯戦争。聖杯に選ばれ、手に入れるために殺し合う恒例儀式というわけだ。
That is the Holy Grail War, the ritual where those chosen by the Holy Grail kill each other to obtain it. Dash, 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 dash. The priest speaks plainly. I have no rebuttal, and I look deep down. I don't know why I said deep. And I look down at my left hand. Deep dive down dissonance. There is the mark they call the command spell. It must mean that as long as I have this mark, I cannot quit being a master. So you're screwed. I guess you gotta, just take a crash course in, fighting and stuff. And then hope Rin doesn't decide just to kill you randomly. Like, maybe, that would be really fucked up, but she seems to have a bit of a weird mindset where, maybe she finishes paying off her debt to you and trains you fully in being a master, and then just decides to stab you in the back. Let's hope that doesn't happen. She probably will be conflicted about it a bit because of, what's it called? The gambler's fallacy? No, that's not it. The sunk cost fallacy. That's it. The gambler's fallacy is when, let's say you flip a coin that gets tails. You think, okay, that means next time it'll be heads. Really, no. Next time is just as likely to be tails. But the gambler's fallacy is if it happens one way, it'll happen the other. No, the sunk cost fallacy is that once you've put something into something, like once you've paid something into something, you'll want to, keep going with that thing. For example, if you spend real money on, let's say, Magic the Gathering Arena, because Magic the Gathering, the real game, the Magic the Gathering real game works just as well. But Magic the Gathering Arena, let's say you put some real money into it. You don't want to stop playing Magic the Gathering Arena anymore because, if you do, you feel like you wasted that money that you put into it. It sort of depends on what you used it on. If you used it on just one draft run, that's fine. But if you used it on, opening a pack, that's different. But especially real Magic the Gathering, all these cards could be doing so much if you're playing games with them, but if you're never playing with the Magic, it feels like you wasted all that money spending it, so you want to keep playing with it. So it's sort of a sunk cost fallacy, where once you spend on it, you want to keep spending and you want the game to be a normal hobby, so you don't feel like you wasted money by spending on it in the first place. What I'm getting at is that Rin wasted her thingy on saving Shiro. She wasted her important magical thing she got from her dad. So, even if Shiro is now technically her enemy, The sunk cost fallacy may prevent her from wanting to kill him. She may feel like that's wasting the energy she spent. In reality, she may have to kill him eventually anyways to get anywhere in the Grail War, but she still may not want to for a very long time because of the sunk cost fallacy and feeling like that's a waste. Like she should use that in some way, which might lead to us forming a partnership is where my mind is going, but...
納得いかないな。一人だけしか選ばれないにしたって、他のマスターを殺すしかないっていうのは気に食わない。
I'm not convinced. Even though only one person can be chosen, I don't like the idea that we all have to kill the other masters. I don't think you do, but it's convenient to kill the other masters, but...
ちょっと待って。殺すしかないっていうのは誤解よ、ヘミヤ君。別にマスターを殺す必要はないんだから。
Rin? Rin? What? Are you kidding me? Hold on, you're misunderstanding if you think that you have to kill them. There's no need to kill the masters. Are you joking? Rin, do you know why he has that misunderstanding? You're the one... I don't know if this was a translation thing, but at least in the English translation, you're the one who first explained this Grail War to him when he didn't understand it at all and said it was a fight to death between masters, and I even said that it was stupid for you to explain it that way. Even if it was true, you should say it's just you have to kill the servants, so to not make him think that, oh shit, she might try to kill me, it's to have him kill you back. So you should have just explained it was the servants, and now you're saying that you do just have to kill the servants, and you back then you said you had to kill the masters! What? It wasn't even true and you explained it in the improper way anyways! And now you're saying, why do you think that? Because you're the one who explained it to him! Ah! I'm out of water! Ah! Rin, I don't know if you're just kind of farted up or if that's a translation thing, but, yeah. There's no need to kill the masters.
はあ？だって殺し合いだって言ったじゃないか。琴峰もそう言ってたぞ。
Okay, alright, so the translation is so far siding with the side that Rin explained it this way, but you said we have to kill each other. Kotomine said so too.
殺し合いだ。
You will kill each other. Wow, that's blunt.
キレイは黙ってて。あのね、この町に伝わる聖杯っていうのは霊体なの。だから物としてあるわけじゃなくて、特別な儀式で呼び出す。つまり降霊するしかないってわけ。
You be quiet, Kire. Now, the Holy Grail in this town is in spirit... The Holy Grail in this town is in spirit form. It's not something with form, so it's something we have to call forth by a special ritual, meaning we have to materialize it. Okay, how do we materialize it? Do we all have to sing a Humbaya? Or how does it materialize exactly? I'm sketchy on those details.
で、呼び出すことは私たち魔術師だけでもできるんだけど、これが霊体である以上、私たちには触れられない。
We can
こ
call
の意
for
味わかる？
We can call for it as magi, but since it's in spirit form, we cannot reach it. Do you understand what that means? No. Please explain, Miss Exposition. Or Mr. Exposition, whichever you feels up for it. Wait, we can't reach it since it's in spirit form. But like, wait, does that mean our servants have to reach it? Because our servants can be in spirit form? Or am I not understanding?
わかる。霊体には霊体しか触れられないんだろ。
Yeah, only spirits can touch spirits, right? Okay, touching.
ああ、だからサーバントが必要なのか。
That's why you need the servants. Oh, so the Grail, I guess, did summon the servants in the first case. Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think when Rin was explaining it earlier, she said like, oh, they decided that since only one of them, they started the fight, but I don't know, it feels like the fight would have been started in the first place. I'm not sure. I'm sure somewhere in Fate Media they've went more into detail on the first Grail War and how that all happened, but, and if they haven't, it's ripe to explain it. But, okay, so you need the servants to touch the Grail, and then hand the Grail to their master, I guess.
そういうこと。ぶっちゃけた話、聖杯戦争っていうのは自分のサーバント以外のサーバントを撤去させるってことよ。だか
Exactly.
らマスターを殺さなければならないという決まりはないの。
To put it simply, the goal of the Holy Grail War is to eliminate all the servants except your own. So there's no rule that you have to kill the masters. Uh-huh. So you shouldn't have explained it that way, Ren. Gosh. You could have explained that while we were back at our house. My house? I called it our house. It could be our house, you know, if you want. I mean, after all, we don't have to kill the masters, right? Yes, we don't have to kill the masters. Yes, harem on lock. Harem route, let's go. Dash, dash, dash. Well, the only way we can have a proper harem route, though, is if Saber stays around. So I guess it'll have to be me that wins. It's decided. What? She could have told me that earlier. Exactly. Gosh. Rin, bad at the talky talk, like Wiseful said. Honestly, Tosaka and this priest were being mean. I think Tosaka was being the meaniest. Like, I feel like Kirei intentionally is screwing with you, and he enjoys doing it. But Rin, I don't know, I feel like she's just, it slipped her mind because she's bad at the talky talk. Now I'm relieved. She probably didn't know how to explain it to a newcomer because she's never had to before, so she wasn't really thinking when she made her explanation, I suppose. Anyways, now I'm relieved. So even if we enter this Holy Grail War, Tosaka's not going to die. Tosaka might not die. Don't make it a definite. Only Sifs think in absolute.
なるほど。そういう考えもできるか。
I see. I guess that is one way to think.
ではエミヤシロ、一つ尋ねるが、君は自分のサーバントを倒せると思うか？
Here it comes. Killing the master is quicker and easier. That's what you're gonna say, right? Let me ask you, Miyashiro. Do you think you can beat your own servant? Huh? Beat Saber? That's impossible. Even if she is a girl. In the first place, magic is useless against her, and she's skilled with her sword.
ではもう一つ尋ねよう。つまらぬ問いだが、君は自分がサーバントより優れていると思えるか？
So let me ask you one more thing. It's a boring question, but do you think you're superior to your servant? No. Huh? What's he saying? I can't beat Saber, so there's no way I'm superior to her. For this question, my answer will always be that I'm weaker than my servant, so... Ah, Shiro understands.
そういうことだ。サーバントはサーバントをもってしても破りがたい。
That's right.
ならどう
Servants
するか。
are hard to defeat, even with another servant. So what should you do? Go after the squishy master.
そら、実に単純な話だろう。サーバントはマスターがいなければ存在できぬ。いかにサーバントが強力であろうと、マスターが潰されれば、そのサーバントも消滅する。
See, it's such a simple solution. Servants can only exist with a master. No matter how powerful the servant is, the servant will disappear if the master dies, so... Indeed. That's why you guys needed to be ethical about it and be like, okay, no master killing, we'll just have our servants fight and we'll all be good. But no, rip ethics. That's right, it's a natural solution. No one would choose to take the hard way. You say that inner monologue-wise, but I bet you're the kind of person who would choose to take the hard way, right? I mean, I was about to say, like, you're gonna I would assume he's the kind who would want to attempt to just kill the servant and leave the masters out of it. He seems like that kind of person to me, at least with females. But, I don't know. If you want to win, the most effective way to kill the servants would be to kill the masters instead. That is the effective way, but you can travel the hard road if you wish, if you really want it, but that's the thing. And you might actually be in a unique position where you may be capable of doing so. Shame Saber doesn't still have her, you know, super honor-boundness that she did in Fate Zero. She still seems honorable, but not to the same extreme. If she did, and you did as well, then that might be a way of, like, if Saber is really the strongest, and if that's not, you know, if that's not just coincidence that Saber's made it to the final round each time, if it's not just coincidence, if Saber really is, there's something about Saber that makes it the best. If the Grail role really is unbalanced, then maybe in your position with the strongest Saber, you actually could defeat other servants without needing to kill the masters. You're in kind of a unique position because of that. It'll still be easier to kill the masters, but in your position, maybe you could go for some kind of servant killing strategy and actually have it work to some extent, but the tricky thing though, of course, will be like, well, what when you inevitably fight Rin? Will Rin also play that way? Will she not opt to kill you, Shiro? like, once it becomes down to the final two, assuming you guys have a partnership, like, you could do an ethic battle where it's just Saber versus Archer, but would Rin really want to do that? Because Rin thinks of Saber as the strongest. Rin probably thinks that Saber is stronger than her servant, unless she has reason to think otherwise throughout the course of the game. So if she was to come down to the final two, would she do an honorable fight expecting to lose? Seems unlikely. I don't know. I'm not sure.
ああ、サーバントを消すためにはマスターを倒した方が早いってのは分かった。
I understand that killing the master is an effective way to eliminate other servants.
けど、それじゃ逆にサーバントが先にやられたらマスターはマスターでなくなるのか。聖杯に触れられるのはサーバントだけなんだろう。ならサーバントを失ったマスターには価値がない。
But then, if their servant gets killed, does that make someone not a master anymore? Only servants can touch the Holy Grail, right? Then there's no point to a master that doesn't have a servant.
いや、霊樹がある限りマスターの権利は残る。マスターとはサーバントと契約できる魔術師のことだ。霊樹があるうちはいくらでもサーバントと契約できる。
No. The right to be a master still remains as long as you have the command spell. A master is a magus that can form a contract with servants. As long as you have the command spell, you can form a contract with servants. Indeed. Which, was shown off in Fate Zero. By yours truly.
マスターを失ったサーバントはすぐに消えるわけではない。彼らは体内の魔力が尽きるまでは現世にとどまれる。そういったマスターを失ったサーバントがいれば、サーバントを失ったマスターとて再契約が可能となる。
The servants whose
戦線復
masters
帰ができるというわけだ。
are killed do not disappear right away. They can stay in this world until their magical energy runs out. If such abandoned servants exist, a master with no servant can form a contract with them. That will allow them to rejoin the war. So if you leave a master alive and kill their servant, and then some other master gets killed in an attempt to kill their servant, that servant could then form a contract with the broken master, which is another reason why you would want to kill the master. But that's only true if they still hold command spells. Right? So, if you're somebody who wants to exit the war, I mean, just use up all your command spells, I guess. It feels a little too simple, but I don't know.
だからこそ、マスターはマスターを殺すのだ。下手に生かしておけば、新たな障害になる可能性があるからな。
That is why masters kill other masters, because if you allow them to live, there is a risk that they will impede you in the future. But wait, so how does the command spell work once you don't have a servant? Can it just not be used? Can you not just get rid of it yourself? I mean, do you need a servant to expend it? Could you just, like, when your master dies, could you just willfully expend it if you want to just, bow out of the Grail War? I know in most situations, most masters would not want to bow out of the Grail War, but Shiro was in a special situation, so...
じゃあ、霊樹を使い切ったら、そうすれば他のサーバントと契約できないし、自由になったサーバントも他のマスターとくっつくだろう。
Alright, they brought it up, nice. So what if you use up your command spell? Then you won't be able to form a contract with other servants, and the freed servant will go off with someone else too.
待って、それは。
Wait, that's what?
それはその通りだ。霊樹さえ使い切ってしまえば、マスターの責務からは解放されるな。
Yes, you're right. If you use up your command spell, you'll be liberated from your duty as a master. So... Okay, the more I'm thinking about this, Shiro... Like, if he can just use all 3 command spells and bow out of the Grail War, wouldn't he? I mean, Saber would be pissed! But wouldn't he? Or maybe he might stay in for Saber's sake? But, like, that seems unlikely. He still barely knows Saber.
もっとも、強力な魔術を行える霊樹を無駄に使うなどという魔術師がいるとは思えないが。
However, I do not think a magus exists that would waste a command spell that allows them to use such powerful magic. Rin kind of wasted one. That's funny. I mean, it wasn't a waste, but you know.
いたとしたら、そいつは半人前どころか、ただのふぬけということだろう。
If there exists such a magus, he isn't even an amateur, but just a chicken. Yeah? What's wrong with being a chicken? So? You're clearly trying to goat Shiro into this war because you think it'll be funny. But, there's nothing wrong if you get dragged into this accidentally, not on purpose, like most masters that join this war. I don't think there's anything wrong with being like, okay, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, I'm out, bye guys. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I know you're clearly doing this to goat Shiro, but... The priest laughs, as he knows what I'm thinking about. And there's nothing wrong with it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall into that just because he's calling you a chicken. Why did you fight in this war? Because I wanted to solve world hunger. Why did you fight in this war? I wanted to cure cancer. Why did you fight in this war? And this is Rin getting asked. I don't know, just felt like it. Why did you fight in this war? This is Shiro getting asked. Cause the mean man called me a chicken. Ellipses. I'm annoyed. The priest's tone of voice pisses me off. That's the point! Don't fall for it!
納得がいったか。ならばルールの説明はここまでだ。
So you must understand now. We'll finish the explanation of the rules.
さて、それでは初めに戻ろう、エミヤシロ。
Well, then let us return to the beginning, Emiya Shiro. What is the beginning?
君はマスターになったつもりはないと言ったが、それは今でも同じなのか。
Well, then let's return to the beginning. Emiya Shiro, you said you have no intention of being a master. Do you still feel that way?
マスターを放棄するというのならそれもよかろう。
Is it? If you want to abandon your responsibility as a master, that is fine too. Is it?
君が今考えた通り、レイジを使い切ってセーバーとの契約を立てばよい。その場合、聖杯戦争が終わるまで、君の安全は私が保証する。
Do you really? I don't know if I trust that. As you have realized, you may use up your command spell to end your contract with Saber. In that case, I'll guarantee your safety until the Holy Grail War ends. Really? Really? That's sketchy. To be fair, you didn't, you've took care of Rin okay-wise for the last 10 years, so I guess I can maybe trust you, but I don't know.
ちょっと待った。なんだってあんたに安全を保証されなくちゃいけないんだ。自分の身ぐらい自分で守る。
Hold on. Why do you have to guarantee my safety? My sex is male, not female. I can protect myself. What?
私とて、お前に構うほど暇ではない。だがこれも決まりでな。
I do not have enough free time to care for you either, but this is one of the rules.
私は繰り返される聖杯戦争を監督するために派遣された。
I've been dispatched to supervise the repeating Holy Grail War.
故に、聖杯戦争による犠牲は最小限にとどめなくてはならないのだ。
That is why I must minimize the victims of the war. Minimize the victims? And yet you're goading me into joining the war? Freaking liar pants.
マスターで亡くなった魔術師を保護するのは監督役として最優先事項なのだよ。
Protection of Magi who lost their claims to being a master is one of the biggest responsibilities as the supervisor. Okay, I think I'm understanding. So, maybe because even if you bow out of being a master, like, people won't believe it. Like, maybe, I don't know, would they know if you ran out of your spells? People can also just be petty. Like, if they fight you and maybe they are forced to use a command spell against you, but then later on you end up bowing out of the Grail War, they might be petty because they lost a precious command spell and they may go after you. That does happen because people are petty.
繰り返される聖杯戦争。
Repeating Holy Grail War? What do you mean? Is that different from a regular Holy Grail War? Does this have something to do with the fact that it's only been 10 years, and even though it's usually multiple decades? Hold on. Repeating. Does he mean that this kind of battle has happened many times before? Oh, well, I mean, yeah. This is like the fourth or fifth one or something like that?
それどういうことだよ。聖杯戦争っていうのは今に始まったことじゃないのか。
Were you not paying attention to Saber? What do you mean? The Holy Grail War didn't start just now? I mean, I guess to be fair, you didn't fully understand, but Saber herself said I've already been summoned to this time. But I guess you didn't really understand what that meant.
無論だ。でなければ監督役などというものが派遣されると思うか。
Of course not. Do you think a supervisor would have been dispatched if it were so?
この教会は生異物を回収する任を帯びる特務局の末端でな。 本来は聖十字の調査回収を旨とするが、ここでは聖杯の査定の任を帯びている。
This church bears a duty to recover the holy relics. As we are the lowest of the special agencies, the lowest of the low, oh, I'm so low. Originally, it was our goal to research and recover the true cross, but here, we have a duty to investigate the Holy Grail. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I was kind of looking for a good place to stop, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and call it here. Yeah. I think I'm going to say that this is the end of the video. I'll see you guys next time. Still don't have an outro phrase. We're learning a lot about the Grails and the Kirays and the flashbacks, but, seems like we might be about to get a bit of a talk about some of the previous Grail Wars. Deep Kiray is the deep. You guys also switched up your colors. I don't know if that was intentional or unintentional, but I feel like it was intentional. Because freaking Wise Fool Death, you're red now. You were blue before, and you were blue. Tom's Tom was green. Zakari was red. And then suddenly, like, Tom's Tom and Wise Fool both became red, and I feel like they're screwing with me. But I don't know. And now Zakari is green. That might be unintentional. I don't know. But it just, you weird me out. Anyways, save. Deep Kiray is the deep. Not that there's anything wrong with weirding me out. But, demo, Shikashi. Drop frame 0! Wi-Fi-chan! Nice! Good going, Wi-Fi-chan. Drop frame 0. That's nice. Stop recording.